This movie is psychotic, this movie is disturbing, this movie is dangerous. Am I talking about a Serbian film? The Joker? No. Of course, I'm referring to the map of tiny perfect things, and I can't believe that the majority of critics are letting this weaponized movie indoctrinate our children. Don't be fooled by the premise. The latest time loop movie being billed as some sort of young adult Groundhog Day.
Like in Groundhog Day and Edge of Tomorrow.
That is mere veneer to shield from the sinister subtext of this movie. This movie is peak white feminism and a dog whistle to signify that white female supremacy is here to stay. Synopsis states, 2 teens develop a budding romance while stuck in an endless time loop. This is a very slight film synopsis, and it is an immediate red flag. Clearly, they're trying to lure you in, but for what gain? Even the film itself completely shrouds its endgame for most of its running time, as we open on our main character, Mark, played by Kyle Allen, an actor who clearly stole Heath Ledger's face, but that is a whole different video. But you see, Mark is not our main character. We're only led to believe that. As the movie itself states at 1 hour and 16 minutes, this is not Mark's story.
I thought it was a love story and I was the hero, but it wasn't about me. It wasn't my story at all. It was Margaret's.
Margaret is the other character stuck in the time loop with Mark. Margaret is played by Kathryn Newton, who Hollywood is once again trying to pitch as a quirky nerd to lull us into submission and further try to force feed these backwards ideas that are consistently silencing people of color, and more specifically, women of color. Kathryn Newton is the enemy of progress. Now I know right about now you're saying, but Jim, everything you said sounds very harmless, and as a matter of fact, you sound like a crazy loon ranting and raving online. Well, in order for me to make my point clear and for the world to see, and to wake you all up, I'll have to spoil this movie. And I should say that this movie is basically evil, so you shouldn't care about spoilers anyways. But here we go. In the end, we find out that the cause of the time loop is Margaret herself.
I just wanted time to stop.
And it worked.
This blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman decided she didn't want tomorrow to come.
Yeah.
And essentially forced everyone in the world to relive the same day over and over again, simply due to her own will as a white woman. Never a care in her mind for the horrible day that many people of color or marginalized people of not just America, but the whole world may be reliving over and over again. Never once was there any hint of empathy or thoughtfulness shown by this character outside of her own bubble of privilege. There are 2 people of color in the film, and Margaret squashes both of them. First, by interfering with Mark's love of Phoebe by interjecting her female dominance, and second, playing white savior to Henry by defeating the boss in his video game that he's been struggling with the whole movie.
Did you use a shotgun?
Yeah, you need the grenade launcher attachment, though?
Is there a grenade launcher?
Yeah. He launches grenades.
I've died so many times doing that.
Her arrogance knows no bounds. Not only that, but it's basically inferred that Mark himself is stuck in this time loop simply for Margaret's own lustful whims, without any explicit consent given. Compounded with the idea that the rest of the world is not allowed to advance in time and space until she decides to live her own, quote, perfect moment by kissing her trapped victim and finally deciding that we can all move on to the next day. Oh, thank you, blonde white women, for allowing our lives to continue. One would have to assume that Mark, now free from the time loop, is now stuck in the web of this Black Widow spider until she grows tired of him, or decides to cast him into some sort of time abyss. It is for all these reasons and more that I implore you to not watch this movie. Do not allow your family, or more importantly, your children to watch this movie. And please help me in my fight to have this movie stricken from existence. Thank you. Namaste.